Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? This is Siha Top from the beautiful Bellingham, Washington area part of the world. Wherever you're coming in from, we welcome you here, and we're so glad that you're here. You're going to get a full night of amazing information on health, the simplest things to do for the most effective or the most optimal health. I truly believe that it's the simplest thing that we can do for the most optimum health. And you're going to see why that is. This technology that we're going to be talking about tonight is not new. It's been around for over 50 years. Our company is, anyways. The technology was invented about 50 years ago as well. And it's helped so many people around the world. I can't even put a number on it, but I just know from our circle, it's in the tens of thousands, and just our personal circle, tens of thousands, and growing to the hundreds of thousands really soon here. This product we're going to be talking about tonight, and this project that we're going to be talking about tonight has been talked about on social media, has been talked about, in the news, has been talked about, mouth to mouth. You've seen it, you've heard it, and that's probably why you're invited here, because we wanted you to get the straight scoop, because there's so much. I'm just going to say it. There's so much bogus out there. There's so much fakes out there. And we want to bring you the facts. We want to bring you the truth. You're going to see tonight, not only is Jodie Kramer, our amazing speaker, keynote speaker tonight, going to talk about it, but we're going to back it up. Her dear sister, Jolene Smith, is going to help us in the chat. She's going to have links for you to the actual science, the actual studies, the research and all that, just to back this up. Because if you're like any one of us, people can say whatever they want to say, and we're going to say whatever we want to say, but let's back it up with some science. And so we've got that for you. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Jodie Kramer, because she's going to do an amazing job for you guys, and you guys can get so much. I'm going to come back on at the end to take your questions and give you some great answers. So Jodie, I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Okay, excellent. Hey, thanks everyone for being here. Yeah, I am, when I saw this for the first time, and my friend, she pestered me for like, I don't know, at least 6 months or better. And I was just so skeptical. And there is so much BS out there that we come into contact with that it's just really difficult sometimes to parse out, the good stuff through all the weeds. So we're going to make it easy tonight for you to be able to do that. Or if you're catching us on the replay, there we go. Got my screen sharing. Excellent. I'm just going to get my PowerPoint up here. And I'm also going to make sure I enable my sound, because we do have some videos and a few things like that I want to be able to share with you. So where's my little bar? There it is. Yay. I love all these virtual tools they have for us. Go and do stereo. So we are here to talk about Kangen Water, and we're going to also talk about Enagic. I am currently down at our brick and mortar water sharing location of Kangen Water, of course, at the hydration station. My sister and I are located here in Sheridan, Oregon. We do this together. I have a full-time gig. She does this full-time, and I help back her up. And then my other half, Ken Greenfield, has been with us for the last, 13 years on this journey, and helps us in the background. He's kind of our water nerd, all that kind of good stuff. So that's what is the beauty of this project is a team, and we all help each other. So as Sia mentioned, Rita, it will be joining us later, and Joleen, they are going to be the co-hosts. Everybody's on mute during this presentation. Pop your questions in the chat. Be looking in the chat for the links and the other tools and resources that we'll be sharing throughout this. And at the end, we're going to open the mics up for Q&A, possible lived experiences, if anybody wants to share those that they've had with Kangen Water. So please sit back, learn, take notes if you're a note taker, and we definitely want you to enjoy your time with us. We have a disclaimer, though. We do want to kick out of the door bright and early here on this information. So what I'm going to be providing, and others will be who are supporting me, is for educational purposes only. We are not meant to be a substitute for your doctors. We're not meant to treat, cure, or do anything like that. Our statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. So that's kind of the last disclaimer I've got, so we can get on to funner stuff. So a little bit more about me. My background is originally in information technology. Since like 1997 is when I first popped into that sphere. And which I love. That's kind of why I still have my day job. I love helping folks, and what I do is in electronic health records and also in the addictions and mental health field, which is kind of a passion for me. So when I found out about Kangen Water in 2012 from my friend, I found my second career, that second passion, and the two go blend so well together because I just love helping folks. Obviously, I'm here after my full day, just because, we just want to touch one person at a time and see the kind of differences that we can bring to folks. And also with us is Siha. He is Mr. Modesty, but we are all here, I believe, because of Siha and his decision to be open-minded. And when he started looking at this for his health many, many years ago, which you'll hear about. But he's our leader, he's our mentor, he's our example. He is somebody to follow. He walks the walk. He does what he says. And so we have no greater example to have a heart-centered, driven experience with Kangen Water than because we have Siha with us. So we're going to hear more from Siha at the end. So I'm not sure what brought you here today, if it's your health, if it's the planet, maybe you're tired of plastics. When you talk about the planet and the pollution or microplastics, right? We're hearing about a lot about that. Maybe you're here because you've been buying bottled water and you're getting glug home delivery. And you're like, I'm really tired of that. I'm tired of spending money on it. I've heard there's a better way. And possibly just in general, you'd like to have better wellness, vitality, and really it's kind of strange how this kind of evolves to even the spirituality piece, because we can bring our health and our time and our energies and all of those things in alignment, we really have a nice, well-rounded life. And so spirituality comes in there as well. Now, I was able to do all of this by just incorporating the Kangen Water into my life. I just swapped out my water and it did change my life. A little bit of a backstory on me. I got diagnosed in 2008 with type 2 diabetes, and it wasn't like a normal diagnosis. This was like I had an injury for about 6 weeks that I didn't realize was not healing because of diabetic complications. So I landed myself in the hospital in the emergency room and spent 6 days there with A1C of like 11 or close to 11. And I chuckle about it only because it's like, it takes a crisis sometimes for us to really be like, oh my goodness, like, what have I been doing? So I followed all the regular things they told me to do. I got myself on a better road. But after 4 years, I still wasn't quite where I wanted to be. Our mom had type 2 diabetes and had passed in January of 2012. And so my friend who kept yakking at me and was like, hey, you need to check this out, it'll help you, I'm pretty sure, and so I did listen to her eventually after about 6 months. It was July-ish of 2012. And plugged in, I saw something super similar to what you're going to see, because this is the foundational elements of learning about Kangen Water and Enagic. So it really did make a difference for me. I feel blessed that my 12 years, fast forward, going on 13 next year, has just, it's been life-changing. My blood sugar is under control. My A1C is like I think it was like 6.5 last time, which if you know anything about diabetics, like that's pretty good. Anything under 7, your doctor's like super duper happy. So I really want to share and bring this forward to other people. And I'm not making any claims, but this is just my lived experience with just changing my water, and really did change my life. So we're going to talk about a number of things, because I said we're going to talk about foundational pieces around the Kangen Water. So I put a little video together to talk, kind of just going to go over some of the pieces we're going to talk about tonight. So let me go ahead and play this for you, and I'll come right back.
Imagine your body as a thriving ecosystem where every cell, every tissue, every organ is continually replenished and revitalized. Now picture this: Around 60% of this ecosystem is water. Surprising, isn't it? Water, the elixir of life, forms the foundation of our very existence. Enter Kangen Water, a revolutionary concept in health and hydration. More than just a drink, Kangen Water is a lifestyle change, a commitment to a healthier, happier you. Kangen Water, simply put, is ionized alkaline water. But it's much more than that. It's a powerful antioxidant, a cleanser, and a hydrator. It helps to neutralize free radicals, those pesky villains that cause aging and disease. It assists in flushing out toxins from our bodies, leaving us feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. But the benefits don't stop there. Kangen Water, with its alkaline properties, helps balance our body's pH levels. In a world filled with processed foods and stress, where acidity is the norm, Kangen Water provides a much-needed reprieve. It's like giving our bodies a mini detox every day. Keeping hydrated with Kangen Water can also boost our energy levels and enhance our cognitive functions. It's like a fuel that keeps our bodies running smoothly and efficiently. And the best part? Kangen Water is eco-friendly. By reducing our reliance on bottled water, we're not just improving our health, we're also doing our bit for the planet. So, are you ready to embark on a journey towards better health and hydration? Are you prepared to make a change, not just for yourself, but for the environment too? The path to wellness begins with Kangen Water. So you are ready to take the first step? Great. Then you are in the right place and time to get started.
Absolutely. If you're here and plugged in with us, the universe, God has a unique timing for us. And this is going to be one of the easier changes, should you choose to implement it, to actually do. Because sometimes I know when I hear about change, I'm like, oh no,
Imagine
I don't want to go there. But this is like easy peasy. And we're going to tell you how. So how do we get Kangen Water? And we've heard about how important water is to the body. It's the foundation, right? Through the little video. Well, we get Kangen from a water ionizer, a water ionizer that is made by Enagic. So you can only get Kangen Water out of a Enagic water ionizer. This one here is what we call the Mighty K8 or Kate, some people call it. And this one has a few features with it I want to highlight here. So it has 8 medical grade plates. This is super important. So kind of make a note of that. The other thing, the 230 watts of power, super important, number 2. And the LCD touchscreen is the third super important thing. Now, these 3 things in tandem with their interaction with you are able to make 7 different pH values, 7 different types of water out of the water ionizer. And you can see over here, they go from 2.5 clear up to 11.5. And we're going to talk on this, presentation about why all those waters are different, special, and really valuable. Now, the drinking waters is oftentimes what brings most people to Kangen Water. They're like, hey, I heard that this water will really hydrate me. I'm going to take my basic hydration to the next level, right? Advanced. So the 8.5, 9, and 9.5 are going to be the drinking waters. We're going to talk most on those to start with, since that's where folks typically are wanting to focus on. But we will cover the things around 6.0, toners, astringent, cleaning, 2.5 disinfectant. It kills viruses and germs. It's crazy. And the 11.5 is also a super emulsifier, a cleaner, a veggie wash. I mean, it goes top to bottom. So we're going to talk about some of those as well. So I said this is a water ionizer. And for those that may not be familiar with what an ionizer is, it is that device. The things behind me are a real background, and that one behind me is an SD501. These water ionizers just sit on top of your counter. They hook up to any water source, whether it's city water, well water, spring water, whatever water. We help you determine what you need for your unit, but they hook right up to your faucet, and that water gets diverted into this ionizer. And the ionizer then uses those plates and the power that it has and whatever you've asked it to do, and it restructures the water. I say it makes it like living water, because it is so much more valuable, in my opinion, to the body and what you're able to do with it. So I have a really, really, really short video that's going to talk about the water ionization process.
One of the most important things to understand about water ionizers are the plates. Enagic uses solid titanium plates, individually cut to size and encoded in platinum, and the SD501 has 7 of the largest plates in the industry. The plates are important because these plates are then charged with electricity, becoming the engine of the ionizer. When the water passes over the plates, the minerals in the water are separated into 2 streams of water, one alkaline and one acidic. The more plate surface area and the more power you can apply to the plates, the better the separation and the better the quality of the ionized water.
Right. So like I said, the plates are important and the power is important. And in this, where you may have noticed, this is an example of what the plates are inside of an SD501. That was the predecessor to Kate, which is still available, like the one behind me that provided the water for us this evening. So these are like the size of a VHS tape. They're solid, they're medical grade. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we really, well, I was fortunate that my friend picked the right one. Otherwise, I might have had to go through some steps to get the right one eventually, right? But she got the right one, and Enagic is the only company that is creating a medical grade ionizer. It's a medical grade unit in Japan. It has International Standards Organization certifications labeling it as a medical grade device, ISO 13485. This is the same organization that does a lot of standards for things across the board in the world, in the medical field, information technology, like all over. We'll hear a little more about that. But when you're looking at these, they're an investment, right? And they're an investment in you, they're an investment in your family, in your health, and making sure that we're putting the best things in our body possible. Because these others have little puny plates, they're mesh, they aren't solid, they're not 99.999% pure titanium and platinum, right? That's where the cost and the investment in these things are. And I love the Japanese culture and company and their scientific background, because they produce a solid machine. As Siha was mentioning, they're 50 years old. Like, you don't stick around and be debt free for 50 years if you're not doing a few things right. So really important. There's a lot of water ionizers on the market. So I just want to kind of throw that out there so you know there's differences in all kinds of things that we buy, varying in quality, but this is the gold standard of all ionizers. So we're going to talk about the drinking waters first. We're going to talk about 8.5, 9, and 9.5 Kangen water out of an Enagic ionizer. Now, Kangen water is like a brand name for what comes out of the Enagic ionizer. So the scientific name is called electrolyzed reduced water. Another term is electrolyzed restructured water. You'll often see acronyms ER, water, ERW. And this is the scientific name because the process of ionization and electrolysis, it actually is taking and restructuring those molecules. It's a process that is known, right? And so if you're going out on Google, you might have already looked up Kangen water before you got here. If you're doing it now, you're going to do it soon. What I want you to do is go to places that'll really give you valuable information in, like, Google Scholar, okay, PubMed, the official website for the United States. Now, this is where you're going to find ERW. You're going to find the peer review articles. You're going to find studies. You're going to find all kinds of reviews, stuff like that. And that's where you want to go to see the efficacy of this type of water and whether, you know, maybe it's for you or not. Jolene's probably already got them in the chat. So as you start researching, utilize those. And, you know, it's not that Google is exactly bad itself, but Google to me is like the bathroom wall. You know, you can find anything on Google. Like if I want to go find something and I have an opinion, I'm probably going to find it, but my opinion may or may not be in alignment with, you know, like facts and reality. So we really want you to be able to plug into those type of resources because this is super important. It's our health, you know, it's what we're doing here. So when the unit makes this type of water, you get an extreme antioxidant property. You get a high alkalinity, depending on what button you've pressed. You get the water is microclustered. It has been broken down now and restructured, more bioavailable and hydrating. This is where the advanced hydration comes in. And it has active hydrogen. So if you have heard the buzzwords out there, active hydrogen, all that kind of stuff, that is also something that you could look up on those links that Jolene provided to you. There is a lot of studies on the effectiveness of active hydrogen through various means for the body. We do all these 4 things, we get the quadfecta of health. First thing we're going to talk about is the free radicals and antioxidants. And you're probably like, well, why were you talking about the 2 of them together? Well, they kind of go hand in hand. Free radicals are damaging molecules. They react with your DNA and your cell membranes. And sometimes if they do enough havoc and whatever go unchecked, they can cause cells to lose their integrity or even die. Okay, so free radicals are essentially just an unbalanced little unit there that needs to have an electron or a antioxidant so it can balance itself out and then make its way out of your system. Okay, so things that we eat and different things the body does creates free radicals, but also things like smoking, pollution, different things like that also bring free radicals and toxins into the body. So by just consuming antioxidants, you're able to help mitigate what's going on with those free radicals in the body. Now, we know there's places like blueberries, like the foods we eat, supplements, vitamins, things like that, that you can see here on the slide, give us antioxidants. And that's like super cool because I love blueberries. Okay. So I was chowing down handfuls earlier today. But the cool thing is that the Kangen water with its high antioxidant property, I get a double whammy. And the fact of the matter is that I couldn't eat enough blueberries in a day, according to Dr. Horst Filzer, to even come close to the antioxidants I get with drinking Kangen water. And when I drink Kangen water, those antioxidants are instantly available to me. I don't have to digest them and do a bunch of things before those antioxidants are available to me. They just come in and they go right to work. So I love it because I'm able to still keep doing the things I was doing that are good for me. And I plug in the Kangen water. And with all of the toxins and all the free radicals that we come into contact with, I have a really stuffed antioxidant bucket sitting there waiting. Okay. So how do we do this? And see, I mentioned we're going to talk about facts and stuff like that. So anytime we test things, there's usually a meter of measurement. There's something that we're kind of checking that against. Well, for antioxidants, we use an oxidation reduction potential scale. And I have a little meter that looks identical to this one right here. So you'll see this one says negative 395. Well, the little meter will measure numbers that are positive, like 0 and above 0 are considered positive, and those are considered oxidative to the body. They're not good in excess. They can cause, they're bad for you. They can cause sickness, different things like that. Where this has a little dash of 395, anything below 0 is considered negative. And that negative charge is actually the potential for reducing oxidation. The higher the negative number, the more potential it has to combat and mitigate your free radicals that are running around doing their business, right? So what we're going to do is I brought some beverages with me and we're going to test them. We're going to see, do these beverages have antioxidants in them? Are they good for the body? Are they, doing well? Or are maybe they not so good or not as supportive to the body? And I got to get these in the right order so you can see. So I want you to kind of think of this scale. 0's in the middle, above 0 is positive, below 0 being a negative number. That's what we want to look for. Okay. So let me stop sharing for a second. And we're going to test the beverages that I have. Of course, we're going to be testing the Kangen water because that's the star of our production here, in my opinion. You don't stick with something for 12 years if it's not something that's working for you. Okay, we are going to start with my 7-Up. So we're going to test sodas. This 7-Up is clear, obviously, and it's clear for a reason, but we're going to test it first for antioxidants to see like what's in it. I mean, when people get sick or they're feeling under the weather, you're like, oh, hey, drink chicken or eat chicken noodle soup and drink the 7-Up. It's like, okay, well, let's see what that 7-Up's really delivering for us. This is ice. You can see these in most of the grocery stores. Ice zero, supposedly zero sugar, but they're sparkling, they're amazing, taste great. Well, let's see if this little refreshing beverage has any antioxidants in it. Okay. And next we have Dasani. Dasani is made by Coca-Cola. The bottled waters are governed by the Food and Drug Administration, and they have a lighter framework for regulation on them. They do self-reporting. They sometimes are just like literally municipal water that is scrubbed clean, like really scrubbed, and then they throw things in it and put it in that bottle at 180 some degrees and then sell it back to you. And when you heat those containers up that hot, it really starts, causing, like when we're talking about microplastics, that's how come microplastics start breaking off. And these are designed, once the air hits them, that they, they're designed to break down in like, I don't know, 700 years, whatever it is. But those microplastics are a real thing. So if you're one of those people that's like, hey, I'm just refilling my empty container because I'm trying to help the planet, right? Stop doing that if you can, and just get even just any kind of BPA free type of, plastic, stainless, whatever, water bottle. You can always put stickers and, make them your own. But it will really help you with, minimizing your plastics. And of course, when you get your Kangen water, you're not going to need all them bottles anyways. Of bottled water, you're just going to get yourself a spiffy container so you can take it with you everywhere. This was the shared municipal water, and this is governed by the federal and state environmental protection agencies. So this provides water to like the homes, the businesses, farms in some areas, and also the federal prison. We have one of those here in Sheridan. So a lot of framework around that type of system. So we're going to check it out and see if it has antioxidants. And this is the 9.5 Kangen water out of the machine right behind me. Not that one, but this one. That's a super kind of for commercial use. And let's see, we're going to take our little meter and we're going to test this out. So, all right. So remember, positives, not good. Negative is good. So we're going to check out the 7-Up first. Looks like we got somewhere around about a 350, give or take a little bit. No dash, because remember the example had a negative 395. This has got a positive, no dash, so it's a positive 340 something, okay? So that's the 7-Up, no antioxidants. Well, I didn't really think it had any, but let's check out this sparkling ice stuff. It's supposed to be refreshing. And again, I don't see the dash yet, darn it. But I do see that we got about a 400. So this is worse than that. Go figure. But that is a zero sugar, and this is a regular 7-Up. So diet and the artificial sweeteners and stuff are sometimes worse for the body and worse effect. So that doesn't necessarily surprise me. Okay, now this is the Dasani. And well, darn it, I was really hoping that it would have some antioxidants in it because, like anymore, you're almost shamed if you don't sport this around in the gym or at your wedding events or whatever, family gatherings. But this is no dash in front of it. It's a positive 450. Okay, that's oxidative to the body. And it's got microplastics. This is the Sheridan water, and let's check out what it's going to do. So the Sheridan water is even higher, okay? Higher being more oxidative. But again, I said they have a large regulatory framework. So they're given a list in a book and things that they can put in the water, things they have to do or not do, right? And one of the things they have to make sure is that the water is clear, that it kills germs, like it's got a bunch of stuff. So oftentimes when the water is treated, it does become very oxidative, okay? Now, when I put it in the unit behind me and just divert it through there, look at that. We've got the dash, super. I always like to turn around, double check. And we've got like a negative 600. Let's just for the sake, we'll just say negative 600. Well, if this one is a positive 600, and that one's a negative 600. That's like a 1,200 point swing. And that machine right back there is at least 8. I've got to probably start saying it's 9 years old because we've been doing these for a while. So these machines last 15 to 25 years or longer. I've seen 17-year-old machines right here in this place, and it didn't come in looking very great, but it performed phenomenally. So yeah, it's like, it's just wild what it can do by just putting the energy and the electricity and zapping it and restructuring it and giving us a living water. So out of all of these, the only one that had antioxidants in it was the Kangen Water 9.5, right? So I'm going to go ahead and reshare my screen. The next thing we're going to talk about is the alkalinity. All right, so alkalinity versus acidity. Okay, I'm going to kind of talk about what's the difference here. This picture that I got, I kind of like it because there's good things on there. Well, I mean, good tasting, right? And then there's things that are not bad for us, right? But these are all acidic foods. So sometimes you wouldn't necessarily think, tuna or the red meats or, like milk. Some of those aren't really like bad for us, like the pastries I would consider, right? So the difference is when we eat and consume a bunch of acidic foods and in too much volume, too much acidity that goes unmitigated will lead to inflammation. And most diseases are the effect of too much inflammation in the body. So we want to do what we can to try and help the body out. That's why there's a lot of people who are eating things like, okay, fruits and vegetables. Like we've all been told, eat your fruits and vegetables, but more and more, the fruits and vegetables are increasing the alkalinity potential in the body. It's helping to protect the kidneys, the heart, and other things in the body. This was in the Epoch Times. All these articles are going to be popping in the chat so that you can check them out. If you're catching this on the replay, we do have some links at the end that you can screenshot, and ChatGPT will help you right out. But anyways, more and more finding that alkalinity helps the body. Okay. The reason that is that the body that is got different pieces in it that have different pH values. And so like the one down here on this slide, 7.365 is the pH value of our blood. Our blood is one of the most important things in the body, in addition to the water foundation, right? And then you got the lymphatic system, of course, but the blood actually travels all over. We have miles of it, and it delivers things, it picks things up, it drops things off, it helps us breathe, right? So the blood has to stay at that level to 7.45. And we were born with what are called alkaline buffers in the body to balance the body. It's constantly in this, it's a miracle, really. It's this miracle engine that you've been given in this life. And it knows what it needs to do. So part of our problem in today is that we are getting too much acidity, too many chemicals, the pollution, all those things aid into the acidity. But there's also things like processed foods or, super processed foods. Those are very acidic. Things in a box are typically acidic to the body. The things around the perimeter of the store are more of the fresh things, right? Like your fruits, vegetables, meats, milks, eggs, stuff like that. But with the fast food, and as you saw in the video, eating a bunch of hamburger, fast food, the acidity is hitting us at a pace where our alkaline buffers are having a very difficult time keeping up. I mean, kids are, taking adult type 2 diabetic medications. Kids are getting adult diseases sooner and sooner. People that used to get aches and pains and stuff much later in life are getting them now in their 30s and 40s. Well, if we can find a way to balance that acidity in our body just by consuming Kangen water, we're going to be able to assist in addition to everything else that you're doing, right? So this scale that we're going to measure, we got clear liquids for a reason because I'm going to turn them colors, okay, like this scale is. So the scale goes from 0 to 14. 7 is in the middle. 7 is considered neutral. Anything below 7 is considered acidic. Anything above, obviously, is going to be considered alkaline. Now, this scale is much different than the one prior. This one is what we call logarithmic. So if you can kind of think of like earthquakes, like for a matter of fact, like you hear about like a 2.0 earthquake, you know, might feel it, right? But my friend who owns a place in Cabo, you know, they just had a 5 point something earthquake just today, or I mean, like it was recent. You're feeling that. But, you know, when you do the math, you're like, well, that's only a difference of 3. Well, it increases with every step you go up or down in those scales. So when you go from 7 to 2, it's 100,000 times more acidic. If you go from 2 to, you know, 12, 100,000 times. So we're talking about the machine making things like 2.5 and 11.5. 11.5 is 50,000 times more alkaline. This is why I can throw a half gallon in my laundry and not use any detergent, and my clothes come out squeaky clean, smelling wonderful, because they're not laced with chemicals and fragrance and all kinds of stuff. So the same kind of goes for the things that we drink and the things, you know, that we want to see. You know, is what we're consuming acidic, not good for the body, or is it good for the body? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing, because I have these little, they're not exactly magic. There's my full one. So these are called pH drops. They are called phenol red, phenol blue. Most of the supplies that I have here for this presentation have been bought from Amazon or from a local store. So if you're going to try this at home or share this because you're super excited afterwards with others, phenol red, phenol blue goes the full spectrum, 11, 0 to 14. Okay. If you use your sauna or your fish tank drops, they may or may not go the full range, and you might not get the actual results you're looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoa, 6, 7, 8. Holy cow. 2, 3, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I counted them out because when I saw this the first time, I told you I saw it. Well, I didn't exactly go like, oh, hey, I'm so excited to be going, Sheila. Like, thanks a lot. No, I was going to poke holes in it. I was being skeptical. I was like, you know, wanting to prove I was right, that she didn't know what she was talking about. And I was definitely one of the best moments of my life to be wrong. Okay. So I try when we do these to keep things the same or consistent. You know, I try to keep them all about the same fullness, the same drops, because we've all been sold to, we've all had buyer's remorse, you know, whether it's an infomercial or, you know, a piece of equipment, exercise equipment we don't use, you know. So anyways, that's why I do what I do here, is to, you know, make sure that I'm being as accurate as I can and as transparent as possible in this virtual world that we're in right now, which is a blessing because we can touch folks all over the world. So I am very thankful. So I put the drops in, and this, to me, this is our scale. Remember, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So this is acidic. 7-Up is acidic. Thumbs down, not good. My little smiley and frowny faces help us out. The sparkling refreshment there, same thing. The ice, sparkling ice, is also acidic. The this one's the worst, in my opinion. This is the Dasani, and this is acidic. Okay. If it was even neutral, it should be close to green. Okay. And I'm frustrated because even for me to do these presentations, I have to spend at least a couple dollars on those things at the store. And if I bought them in a big flat, you know, maybe get them a little bit less, but regardless, it's expensive, you know, and people are spending that money and they're buying these for big families. Like, they're not just getting one, they're buying all of this. And so it wasn't, you know, full of antioxidants, and it's acidic. Okay, well, there's 2 strikes for me. Let's see when we get to the hydration what it does. Okay, this is Sheridan's water. It's great. It's green. It's where it's supposed to be. They're mandated to be at 7, and that's so they don't rust out and do different things to the pipes. Okay, so they put things in it off their list that they can do, like ash, lye, and other things that kind of inflate and bring the alkalinity up. Because I love it. I've done these for years, and I've had some people that are like, I can just make that with baking soda. And I'm like, okay, like, and I had one guy do it, and he put in all this baking soda and he stirred it up. You know, he couldn't even get it even close to this color. And then he's like, see, and his wife was like, I'm not drinking that. Like, that looks nasty. So there's many ways to do many things, but we want to show you the easiest right way to do it that tastes good, that's amazing for you. We're electrically changing this just like Mother Nature. We're just zapping this water and giving it the ability to go into a format that is good for us. Okay. So if you've been consuming these other things and you start drinking the Kangen Water 9.5, can you balance your body? You're definitely gonna. When you decide to bolt into this project and work with us, we're gonna make sure that you are able to meet and hit the goals that you're trying to do, okay? Now, it doesn't matter where you're at, okay? Or how old you are or whatever. It took a while to get where you're at, okay? You heard my story, like I wasn't the model of all health. So it's okay. Might take you longer depending on what you've been doing. But hey, taking the step in the right direction, you're making the path to change, and that's what's most important. So when you get your body balanced somewhat, this one's balanced, right? So if you start consuming these things or just try to give yourself a little treat, like, oh, I've been good, that quickly it unbalances things, okay? So we want to get the acidic things out. We want to make sure that kiddos, we can minimize the amount of acidity they're coming in contact with. You know, cancer is one of the prevalent things for kids. You know, kids shouldn't have to be dealing with cancer at the rate they are. When they're building out children's wings of hospitals quicker than they're doing other stuff, it's just not a good sign. So get the acidic things out. That'll do a huge value to you. And we're going to make sure when you plug in with us that we get you on the path to help achieve your goals. So I'm going to reshare, and we're going to talk about the microclustering. So the microclustering basically just means that we've taken big water, which is limited absorption by the body and cells, and by running it through the ionization process, we are able to get small clusters. They're able to penetrate, hydrate, and rejuvenate, and you get at least 6 times more value and utilization out of that water. Now, we have a lot of folks that'll come in and they're like, I hate water. I don't like the way it tastes. It makes me feel bloated. We've heard all kinds of things, and they're real. You know, I mean, it doesn't feel good to drink a whole bunch of water on a hot day, or when you're trying to work out and feel bloated. Like, that's really not, you know, it's not good. So they are so surprised that when they start drinking the Kangen water, like, it just starts going in. They don't have the bloat. They don't have the nasty taste. Kids always think that it tastes like fluffy water, they call it, because it's so light and it's just full of energy. So with the human body being comprised of at a minimum 60% water, there's even higher numbers depending on where we're at in life and different things. We're water beings. Like, look at these percentages of the different areas of our body that are made up of water. Proper hydration is really the foundation of this house, this vessel that you're occupying, right? So with our body, we're made up of trillions and trillions of cells. The cells make up all of our organs, our skin, our everything. They're made up of water. They're surrounded by water. So if we want like healthy, happy cells, and like this is a picture of a healthy, happy, hydrated blood cell. Okay. Like, I don't want to have blood cells that look like this. You know, this looks like it could catch on each other. It's not going to free flow as easy. And a matter of fact, blood cells can stack up in what's called a roulette. And hang on, sorry about that. And so basically, when we start consuming the Kangen water, we are able to actually start hydrating those cells and making them look like a happy, healthy, hydrated one. And I'm going to silence my phone 1 second. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I may have to pick a pause here for a second. So how am I going to show you? Okay, hold on. If we could hang on one second, just want to make sure. All right, thank you. We live out in the country. We have a farm. We have all kinds of things. So, when families call in, it's like, family first, right? I mean, that's probably why maybe even part of you are here. It's like your family's important. So I was like, okay, I just got to make sure it's not emergency, the double calling. So, anyways, this is how you can tell it's not scripted, right? Like, I'm for real. This is for real. It's all for real. So, for real, I'm going to show you how this water is hydrating. Okay, so what I'm going to use for that is a tea bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can make tea with these different waters that we have here. And the reason I'm going to do this is I want you to kind of imagine this tea bag is like your body that is comprised of all these cells, kind of like these tea leaves are inside the tea bag. And so I'm going to take the saline first because I spent the most money on this. And I'm going to see if I can actually detox, hydrate my little tea body here. Okay. And some of you might be like, well, why aren't you boiling that? Like, duh, you're not going to be able to make tea with that. And the reason why I'm not boiling it is because if the water is small enough in size, shape, and structure, it should be able to get in there and make tea. Now, because when you boil water, you're just boiling it to make it smaller. Like that's what it's doing. If you boil it too long, it's going to be so small, it turns into gas, right? Up in the air. And water's kind of cool because it can be a solid too. Okay. So I don't think that looks very hydrated. I'm going to grab my 9.5 and I'm going to see what can I do with that. Okay. Wow. Looky there. Okay. First getting the hydration, the tea's coming out. That's definitely, this is a green tea, so don't expect it to get dark like my jacket. Okay. But anyways, definitely hydrating, doing some stuff. Now, some folks might be like, oh, you got the bag wet, because I was Joe skeptical when I first saw this. And I thought, well, you just got the bag wet. So there you have it. But I put the Sheridan water on it and I'm kind of getting the same thing, right? Not doing a whole lot. So when I put it back in here, let's see if it's actually used up or not. And set that down there. And just that quickly, it's starting to make the tea again. Starting to go in, hydrate, and detox the cells of my tea body in this example. So this is one of the easiest ways, and a lot of folks are like, wow, I can't believe you can do that. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you've been drinking these other waters and you start drinking the Kangen water, will you be able to start hydrating your body even better? Well, you will. Look at that. It turned the colors of the other two. And how did it do that? Well, the fact of the matter is the tea leaves were in there. They just weren't able to get in because the water wasn't able to get in. So when I added in the Kangen water, it's even diluted. It's actually able to bring out that tea. So this is how you're getting that mini detox that the video mentioned in the beginning. Gently, just day in and day out, drinking the Kangen water. Okay, so move this. All right. And so I have a couple other things to share with you. There we go. So I mentioned the other waters. There's the 6.0, 11.5, and 2.5. You can go chemical free in your household. No wasted plastics on single use bottles that you're buying. So we mentioned the microplastics, and Jolene is going to pop in some information here on these as well. But microplastics are a real thing. They are DNA sized. They're invading our bodies. They are causing different issues. They're hormone disruptors, many entry points, health risks. They found that the harm of microplastics to the cardiovascular and the brain health. So one of the things that I use ChatGPT to help me with these, I just said, hey, here's some articles. Please give me 5 high points that I could use for my presentation. And so I like this one because on its own, it brought out mitigation. And of course, it's like reduce plastic use, right? But I like the fact that it says use antioxidants and omega-3s. But we've just seen tonight one of the easiest ways to get antioxidants, like day in and day out. There's also microplastics in male reproductive organs. We've heard they're in the placenta of babies. We ingest a credits card worth in a week. They come from various places. And in a month, they say we have a AA battery. So the Kangen water helps combat the effects of microplastics with the detoxification, the antioxidant properties, the improved pH balance, better nutrient absorption. Because when your body has the right foundation in it, it's able to uptake and utilize everything else you're doing. So supplements, juicing, cooking, other things like that. If you are, make everything that you would normally do with water with your 9.5, when you're cooking, we've got different things you use for different cooking. Okay. So the Kangen water really helps with that. Here's some of the articles I mentioned. ChatGPT, if you're on the replay and can't get access to the links, and screenshot, throw it in there, it'll give them to you. So the strong acidic water 2.5 is called hypochlorous acid. So when you're on Google Scholar or PubMed, make sure that you go ahead and pop that term in, and you'll see that it kills 99.999% of bacteria, dismantles things in 30 seconds to 2 minutes. These are just a few things that you can use it for. I love the fact that I can just put it in a little squirt bottle, take it with me when I'm out and about, can minimize the amount of hand sanitizer and stuff that you're doing. Also, the 11.5 helps with emulsification. And what is that? Well, it basically breaks down pesticides, insecticides, herbicides that are on fruits and vegetables because it's an emulsifier. It's so powerful. So the pesticides and stuff, like, why is that a big deal? Well, they've been shown to cause issues, and especially these folks that are constantly applying it, they're seeing more and more health problems. And this person is obviously in protective wear for a reason. And when our fruits and vegetables get to the store, oftentimes when we get them at home, they still have these things left on them. Okay. So now they sell things like veggie wash that you can buy for like $8 a squirt bottle. Or when you have your Kangen unit, you just make fresh 11.5 and wash your fruits and vegetables. You can also do all these other things. Like I said, laundry. I love it too for the actual healing, like first aid type thing. It's a great triage for like burns. Burn myself on the stove or a pan, I just go straight to my machine, turn the 11.5 on fresh, run it over my hand. And my sister was saying too, like at the same time, I catch it in a container after it runs across my hand, and then I use it in the laundry. So it's like double duty. So we have all these protocols. If it seems overwhelming, don't worry. We're here to help you and make sure your journey with Kangen water is amazing and everything that you would hope it would be. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I want to show you a couple things on how, that's my cups, there they are. So I have some tomatoes because I told you that you can use it for fruits and vegetables. Right here. There we go. Oh, there we are. So these are little cherubs. There we go. From any grocery store. I got them at Albertsons, but anyways, so we're going to wash these. And I'm going to put some fresh 11.5. 11.5 can be used fresh. It can be used stored for, 2 weeks to a month. I like to use fresh because as we were testing the antioxidant properties and the alkalinity, the higher the alkalinity, the higher the antioxidants are fresh out of the machine. the antioxidants do dissipate over a couple days or so. So fresh, it infuses them with antioxidants. So they'll last like twice as long. You'll get more shelf life out of your vegetables and different things that you use it on. But for like cleaning and stuff like that, I'm just like, hey, I'm going to put it in a nice squirt bottle and I'm just going to go right to work doing cleaning and stuff at my place. So, while these are soaking, I'm going to put these two things here and I'm going to take some sesame oil and I'm going to put this in here. And you're probably like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. Well, I told you I clean my stove. I told you I do laundry, you know, it's like, well, how is that possible with just water, right? Well, the 11.5, I put it in here and I'm going to take my tap water first and let's see, can I mix oil and water with Sheridan's tap water? And as you'll see, the oil's floating to the top, right? So if I take, this is the 11.5 in there. If I pour this in here, look at that. That quickly, it emulsified and it just went right to work. So like this is how the 9.5, which is a lower power, but this is how it gets into our body and starts pulling things out and doing things that it needs to. And this is just wild. This was probably the most wild thing I saw when I first saw my first demo in like June or July. I can't remember what month it was, but it was somewhere in there. So this is just really cool. This is how it breaks things down in your laundry. It's how it breaks things down on your stovetop, on your floors. You can use it in a rug cleaner. You can use it all over the place. So the other thing I want to show you, since you're not here with me, and if you're in the skeptic club, which I wouldn't blame you, I'm going to show you this is clear. So it's the same. It's been in your purview, and I haven't done any video editing yet. Okay. So I drank it. And I did that not because Enagic says to. They do not endorse drinking 11.5 or any of the waters that aren't drinking waters. But I want to show you I don't have a chemical in there. I don't have 409 in there. I don't have some kind of magic whatever, because I definitely wouldn't drink that. I got places to be and do after I get done here. So I'm not going to urgent care. I'm not going to the ER. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to keep about my deal. And you know, that stuff has been in there for like 2 weeks. Okay, so I drank like at least 2-week-old 11.5, and I'm going to feel totally fine later. So if your kiddos or pets or stuff get into these waters, you know, you're not going to have the adverse effects that you would if they drank 409 or something like that, or bleach. So these are the tomatoes that have been in the tap water. I'm going to pour this off. These are the ones that have been in the 11.5 fresh. And as you'll see, there is a ever so slight coloration difference tonight. And this is part of the dyes and part of the things that are sprayed on them with the pesticides, herbicides, and whatever sides, okay? If you see demos and they don't turn colors, well, the real clue, because they're getting smart, they're like, okay, we better quit doing that, you know, cost them more money, but right. So if both the waters are clear, the best way is to feel them, touch them, taste them. Like these are squeaky clean. These still feel waxy, like they got wax on them. And when we used to do these in person, people would spit these things out, and like we had to start serving napkins because they wouldn't just choke them down. So we give them this one first, give them one of those. And it was all it was the end of the story there. They were like, whoa. So this is really, it really enhances flavors. It'll enhance things too, like when you're cooking with the different waters, it brings out better flavors. So super exciting, the things that all of these waters can do, and really how you can incorporate them into your daily routine. We've been working with some folks, and you know, like, how can we put this in your daily routine? Well, we got a top to bottom, wake up, go to bed, and the list of all the things you can do with these different waters every day. It's really amazing. So we can do all this with just one machine. This is the SD501 Platinum. It's silver. It's looks a little spiffy in your silver kitchens. But you can do all of this with one machine and the power to share. I say sharing is caring because I care about folks. And so I shared it and fire hosed all my friends and family. But this one unit is a workhorse. It's phenomenal. So ask yourself if anything I said was even remotely true, even just slightly, even if there's a 5% that I know what I'm talking about. Like, what is that worth? What could that mean to you and your family? Well, I decided, because, really the reason I was blowing my friend off, well, one, I didn't think she knew what she was talking about, but it was expensive. It was an investment. Like, I was like, what in the world? Like, no way. I was busy. I had life going on. I had all kinds of commitments, work. I was like, I don't even have time to listen to you about this thing, but when I did, and then I saw the differences in my blood sugars and my anxiety and my body temperature. And then I saw other things happening to the other people that were trying it with me. Like Ken started to get little fuzzies on his bald spot. Dusty's little kid was able to go to the bathroom when he was constipated from having to have baby formula. So like, I was like, okay. And then Sheila was leaving in 2 months. So it was coming to an end. So I decided, you know what? I got to get over it. I would spend money on anything else I want, right? Like we all find ways to do what we want to do. So I got me an asset. I kicked these things to the curb and I started saving this kind of money at a minimum just on the bottled waters and the sodas that I was consuming. So as I mentioned, Enagic is a Japanese company, 50 years old, debt-free. They're amazing. So you're going to get all of us on your journey. You're going to have us behind you. We're going to have our tools, our resources. We're going to help you along the way, or the person who invited you that loves you, cares about you, right? But you also get Enagic. And that's really important because this is, like I said, this company could have just put that ionizer on the market and was just like, I'm done. But no, they went the extra mile to get these certifications recognized in the industry, right? The gold standard. So here's a little bit about Enagic.
Enagic, a global pioneer of water ionization technology since 1974. Spanning over 5 decades, from humble beginnings in Japan to a global stage, Enagic's unwavering commitment to quality and innovation is evident. We've sold more than 2 million ionizers, transforming countless lives into healthier, happier ones. Enagic's financial stability, being a debt-free company, is not just a testament to our success, but also to our commitment to you and future generations. We're here for the long haul, ensuring the benefits of Kangen Water continue to flow. Each machine is certified to the highest standards, reflecting our commitment to quality and excellence, including International Standards Organization, ISO 13485 certification as a medical grade device. As well, it is approved as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare and endorsed by the Japanese Association of Preventive Medicine for Adult Disease. Enagic is the gold standard for water ionizers worldwide. Enagic has offices in 25 countries and 42 locations, making this life-changing water accessible to everyone. Enagic is an original equipment manufacturer, and every machine is assembled by one technician for the utmost quality and controls in our medical-grade factory in Japan. Units have a 25 to 30-year lifespan. Other ionizers claim to be cheaper, better, or whatever, and the whatever is the case. Inferior products, metals and technology made in Korea, China, and many brands made by one company, and Enagic is the only medical-grade ISO 13485 water ionizer. Together with Enagic, we can set a course towards enhanced wellness and sustainability. Thank you for exploring the world of Kangen Water with us. Here's to a healthier, happier, and sustainable world.
Yes, thank you all for being here. Hopefully I have been informing, kind of entertaining as well. So,
Enagic.
in the 12 years we've been doing this, we've seen a lot of people, and really cheaper is cheaper. Like that is what it is. We've had people go out and buy other machines, and guess what? They're back in about 6 months or less. So really, this is just, we've seen time and time again, these are the best investment ever, in my opinion. So Enagic products, we saw the K8, we saw the SD501 sitting behind me, and we talked about the Platinum. These are the current prices, easy ways to get them, all kinds of different payment methods, and even some in-house for kind of last resort financing, which is awesome that it's even there for us. So next steps from here. Again, thank you all for being here. Just wonderful to have you here or catching this on the replay as well. If you're like, hey, this was great, but it's really not now, not for me, that's okay. Thank you again. And you know what? When you are ready, we're going to be here with open arms because we are all plugged in and dedicated to this mission. So we'll be excited to have you. If you're like, I want this, I need it, I got to get it. Well, get with the person who invited you or the people you're following on social media, whether it was us or others. They will help you get your order link and help you get this thing on your counter. They come in about a week. If you're like, wow, you know, I've learned a lot. I have more questions. I took some notes or I remembered a few things. That's great. Connect with whoever invited you, wherever you saw this. Ask them the questions. Or, you know, come back next week too. After you've had a chance to do some research, we'll be here again because we keep sharing this week after week around the world. And lastly, but not least, as I mentioned earlier, we have some folks that are like, hey, this is an investment. Like I've heard my friends yakking about, I can get a refer a friend, thank you check. Like there's so many ways that Enagic has been able to plug in and do things for folks that I'm going to turn this over to Siha. He is the best person equipped to share with us different things and to wrap up our evening. So, or our replay, right? So with that, Siha, I'm going to turn it back to you and thank you, everyone.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Thank you so much, Jodie. That was absolutely amazing. With so much information out there, it may seem overwhelming. And that's what Jodie said. It seems overwhelming, but she brought it into about an hour's time, compacted, and gave you guys the most thorough presentation that you could do in this amount of time. She could be doing this, we could be doing this for hours at a time. So I wanted to thank her and Jolene for just making it so good for all of us. Being practicing good health takes a lot, and it seems like it can be overwhelming. But I don't, you know what? We don't think it's that difficult. It's not. It starts with, you know, just the most basic things that we do every day. Let's start with organic whole foods. You know, what we're putting in. Are we putting in the processed stuff? Are we putting in the chemical stuff? You know, just like the water, we should be putting organic whole foods into our body. Now that's the nutrition part. And with the water, same thing. I like to call our water, I used to call our water for our kids organic water. And matter of fact, the word Kangen water means return to origin, water in its pristine state, right? Before man contaminated, polluted it, and you know, put all these chemicals in it and deemed it safe for us to drink. Now let's go back to organic water. So my kids and my kids' friends, when they come over, they're like, give us some of that organic, what is that organic water? And so literally it's organic water. Again, this is all about health and what can we do to maintain our health, to practice preventative health care. You know, the simplest things that we can do. How about exercise? What's the best exercise? The best exercise is whatever you feel you love doing, right? Whether it's swimming, dancing, walking, running, biking, whatever it may be. Just move that body. The body's made to move. And we don't need to spend hours and hours on end. You know, just start out with 20 minutes a day, moving, stretching, you know, and then moving it to 20 to 30 minutes, then to 40 minutes, and then you'll get that confidence. You'll feel better by moving. So that organic exercise. We don't need a membership. We don't need, you know, all these fancy things. Really, we don't even need shoes. Go out there and earth, you know, do some earthing barefooted and stretch those muscles in the legs, right? So again, back to organic and how to do this simply. How about deep breaths? Everybody, we can gain, we can gain, I've read we can gain up to like 30% increase in energy as well as metabolism, kickstarting your metabolism just by learning how to breathe correctly. Well, how do you breathe correctly? Tons of YouTube videos, right, on how to do that. There's lots of yoga studios out there that have free, well, in my area, that is, they have free yoga sessions and they teach you how to breathe. So for my clients or my friends that I'm coaching on when it comes to the health, I'm saying just breathe deep. You know, inhale on the count of 7 and exhale on the count of 9. and build up your lung to where you can inhale on the count of 9 and exhale on the count of 11. So we want to exhale more than we inhale to get all that out from the bottom of our lungs. So simple, so easy to do. What does it cost you? Nothing. What can you gain? Everything, really. The things, when I say everything, the things that we can gain from health are sometimes priceless, right? Um, and then one of the many, again, many factors to health. I'm just naming some of the most important ones that I practice, and I make it easy for myself and my family, and when I'm coaching other people. The next thing I like to share with people is your sleep habits. Get your sleep habit, good sleep habits. Get your a lot of time that your body needs. You know your body. Some bodies can operate. I know mine. I need 8 hours of beauty sleep. And look, I need more than that. Look, I'm not that beautiful. I need more than the 8 hours of beauty sleep. But if you can operate on 6, make sure it's constant, that you're going to bed at a certain time and waking up at a certain time. Power naps. If you need to get in that power nap, absolutely phenomenally amazing thing for the body and the mind and the soul and everything else. So those are my tips for great health, easy things to do that are priceless. Um, they say our health is our wealth. Yes, absolutely true. But we also need to have some wealth to be able to buy the best foods. We also need our wealth to buy some of the best waters. We also need our health, to buy some of the things that are healthier for us and that are better for us. If we have financial stresses, then it's not we can't take that day away, that break away from work, or we can't, whether it be a day, a week, 2 weeks, or whatnot. So another thing that we do is we lock arms and we help people with their financial health. And I personally have trained and taught so many people to go independent with making a side, what you can call it, a side gig, a side project, where they're bringing in cash flow to help pay their bills. We'd love to do that and help you. So if you're looking for, extra cash flow to reduce stress, to have more time freedom, to be able to go and enjoy your life, because that's what it's life is made to do, and not just enjoy your life, but support the community. The more money that you make, the more that you can give back to your community, the restaurants you go to, the mom posh, boutique shops, everything. Financial health is what we teach and coach and encourage people to do as well. For those of you on top team, tomorrow, Wednesday, we do a mastermind every Wednesday, all about the business. But tonight, it's all about the health and financial wealth. And that's what we're going to do. So that's what we've done. I want to thank Jodie again for doing such an amazing job. Jolene for being our support. Can't do it without you. And then for all of you guys, we wouldn't be able to be where we're at without you. So we thank you. If we can help you or your prospects, your customers, your clients, your friends, your family, explain this coming from somebody else, please reach out to us. You can reach out to me directly. You can go to my, we all have social media nowadays. I know that everybody on this call probably has a Facebook page or an Instagram page. Just write down our names, go to the social media, look us up, message, DM us, and I'm absolutely sure one of us will get back to you, or we'll get back to you right away. So I want to turn it back to you guys to see if there's any Jolene, if there's any questions in the chat, if we need to answer, and if not, we
Yeah, I
can.
don't see any questions, and I did open the mic so anybody can ask questions. Feel free.
Great. Well, again, we've got the mics open. We're looking at the chat. I don't see anything there. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart on behalf of all of us. Go out there and just do amazing things. We love you guys. We'll
I
see you
do
next
have a
week.
quick question.
Yes, 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 yes.
Sorry, just let me put my camera.
Sure.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
who is this?
Dulce.
I'm
Nice
not
to meet
seeing. There you are. Dulce, hi.
you. How are you?
Good, good. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico, but I live in Canada.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, we have lots of friends up in Canada. What part of Canada, if you don't mind?
Toronto. I'm in Toronto.
Toronto. Excellent. Awesome. Welcome. How can we help you? What's the question you need?
Um, I have just a little quick question because I think I'm confused about I know 2.5 and 11.5 are strong, and they both of them kill bacteria and virus and disinfect. So, for example, for my son, who is 7 years old, and his stomach is being upset. So he's on a spectrum too. He's autistic, level 1, and nonverbal. Amy recommend me, and I have been trying all these the water for a very maybe I had the machine for a month now, but before I was getting shared for another person water, so I see that it was helping him to be hydrated, and he wasn't sick at all. When the school, when they get sick at the school, one he gets sick, and then I got sick, and then my husband got sick. So and we were drinking the water, and he was drinking the water, and he was the only one was healthy from the class. So, which is amazing. But now he has a little stomach ups and downs, and I am confused what to give it to him. Also, I have another family, and my neighbors, they came from El Salvador, from Ecuador, sorry, from Ecuador, and the whole family got sick, something in the stomach, something in the body. They got like something. So I started giving water to them, and they were saying that they were feeling good, but I was confused again because I don't know which water I should give it to them to flush all the virus or bacteria that they have in the body, because I give them to 8.9 to start it, but I know that I have to give something for the virus on the bacteria, but I am confused with that. That's my question.
So Jody, you want to help address that, and then I'll address it, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So let's go, because Jody has a ton of information as well. So let's start. First of all, I want to say I'm not a doctor. Okay.
Mhm.
15 years of sharing this. I just spent a lot of time with a lot of doctors. I've spent a lot of time with a lot of customers and clients, and I've learned so much. So let's start with your son with the stomach. Is it your son with the stomach issues, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And he was drinking the 8.5, 9.0 Kangen water, and he was fine. But then now something is affecting his stomach. Am I correct there?
Yes,
Okay.
because the school started and something is happening
So
again.
is it stomach ache? Is it diarrhea? Is it
It, it
nausea?
it's well, he was having stomach ache and some diarrhea, but then the stools are not consistent, are like very soft, and it's like I know it's something there, but I don't know what is it, because
Oh,
he's not well. He cannot tell me what
okay.
to do.
So do you have a machine, or you're getting the water secondhand?
No, I got the machine.
You got the machine. Okay. Do you have a pre-filter by
Um,
chance?
let
Because
me
where
let me
but your machine's in Ontario, Canada, right? So, and you're
Yeah,
in city limits,
Toronto.
you're Toronto, and you're in city limits?
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine then. I don't need that. You don't need the pre-filter. I just wanted to make sure if you were in Mexico or you're in
no, no, here and I have this machine. Let me show you. Where is the camera?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. I just needed to know the location of where you're at in your water source. Now, process of elimination is all that I'm doing here. So you're good there. Your son is drinking the 8.5, 9.0, 9.5 specifically. Which one is he drinking?
He's drinking 9.5.
Okay, back it down to the 8.5, because like Jody said, for every digit, it's 10 times stronger. So from an 8.5 to 9.5, it's 10 times stronger. And
Okay.
again, I'm not sure what your food diets, in your home are, if you're not eating a lot of processed foods or whatnot, and you're eating a lot of alkaline foods already. 8.5 would be my suggestion
Okay.
on that. If it persists, uh, go to the 8.5, go for a week or so like that. And if it persists, then again, I'm not a doctor, but this is what I would do for myself, for my children,
Mm-hmm.
is take a shot, 1 ounce or an ounce of the 2.5. Okay.
Yes.
Again, I'm not telling you to do it. This is what I would do. This is
Yeah.
what I would do to my kids because I know for a fact that the 2.5 kills germs, E. coli, salmonella, bacteria, any foodborne, excuse me, what do you call it? Food poisoning in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
It'll kill that, and that will kickstart the acid, and that might help because it sounds like a symptom of maybe it could be some bacteria. But again, I don't want to assume anything. I just would do the basics. Go back to the 8.5, do that for a few days, see how that is. And if not, an ounce of 2.5 first thing in the morning before food and stuff like that. Because that's first thing in the morning, an ounce is not, it's not going to hurt. I would recommend, I was looking up while you were talking also, a doctor that might be an expert on this because his daughter has severe stomach issues and he was able to help his I think she's under 5 years old, where they're supposed to, her intestines were hanging outside her stomach, that kind of stuff, right? So very sensitive stomach, and how he was able to treat it with the Kangen water. His name's Dr. Michael. If you type up Dr. Michael, and I was looking it up on the phone on my YouTube, on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, Dr. Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Jolene, can you type that up for me in the chat? Dr. Michael. And yeah, I want to put Dr. Michael Kangen water. I want to put daughter, Daughtr
On YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's Dr. Michael explains how Kangen water saved his daughter. That's what the title is.
Okay.
Let me read that to you again. Dr. Michael explains how Kangen water saved his daughter's life. And you can have a look at that video there. But that his daughter had severe stomach issues as an infant, So, here it is with the doctor. So I hope that helps you. Um, that's just my recommendation. Drop the pH for a couple days, 3, 4, 5 days. See how that works. And if that works, keep it at that. Stay at the 8.5. You don't have to go to 9.5.
Okay.
It's not, I have to be at 9.5 or my kid. It's whatever you feel best, whatever he feels best on it.
Okay.
So we recommend our clients drink 8.5 for a week, then 9.0 for a week, then 9.5 for a week, then come back down to the 8.5 for a day or two, the 9.0 for a day or two, then the 9.5 for a day or two, and then you decide because everybody is going to like it differently. Okay. But check out
Okay.
Dr. Michaels. Jody, if you have anything to add on that, great. If not, we'll move on. Oh, did I answer all your question? Was that it? Did you have another
Yes.
question?
Yes. No, you answered my question. I'm gonna check already. So that means that if it's higher the pH, it's it's better for the body.
No,
It's opposite, right?
no, wrong on both. Incorrect, not wrong, incorrect. It to go higher, if your body accepts it and your body likes it and you feel better with it, then it's the right thing. If it's too much, in your son's case, it might be too much. That's why you want to drop it to the 8.5. 8.5, 9.0, 9.5, they're all excellent water depending on how your body feels on it. So
Okay.
it's not good going one way or good going the other way. It's good. How do you feel drinking it?
Okay.
Okay. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because it's not a one size fits all. It's not, hey, I got to drink 8.5. We have professional athletes that I know personally that they know their body so much and they measure their body for oxygen, for BMI, for everything. Bodybuilders as well as marathon runners. And some you would think would drink only the 9.5. No, they drink the 8.5. They feel lighter on their toes. They feel lighter when they run. So, I personally drink 9.5.
Okay. I was feeling okay with 9.5, but now I'm gonna do for him.
Yeah, and do it for yourself too. Test out 8.5 because you don't know until you try it. You
I will.
both do it for 8.5 for the week. That way you don't forget the 9.0 for the week, the 9.5 for the week. Okay. And then come back down for a day or two. That way you both know. You might, it's okay. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Great question, and hope that helps out. And Jody or Jolene, thank you so much. She put that in the chat, so you can either copy that and paste that, or take a picture of it, and that way you'll have it. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much to all of you, and thank you, Amy, for inviting me. And
Yes.
have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
I'm glad that you came. Come
Thank
again
you.
next week and bring your friends. We'll help out. All right,
Yes,
guys.
I've been telling them like the water make me feel so good, and I was explaining to them that Gabriel wasn't sick when everybody was sick, and they I started giving some water to them too. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna sign off and do
Bye.
more other things. Bye for now.
Bye.